Well, welcome back. Missouri Valley Media Day here on the field of 68. We're now joined by Evansville head coach David Ragland. And coach, coming off of a season where you won 8 games in the Valley, you guys go 8-12, and that is the best season that Evansville has had in the Missouri Valley since 2016. And you got some pieces coming back. I mean, you got three key returners, 3 rotation guys coming back. What does it mean to be able to kind of build on what you did last year and kind of keep some of that continuity alive?
Yeah, no, it means a lot, and the guys that we return are ones that are hard to retain and really hard to get out the portal. Returning our defensive player of the year and Connor Turnbull was really
Mm-hmm.
important to myself and the staff and our fan base. To get a 6'11" guy that can alter and block shots and catch lobs, and he's a really good passer as well, which is good for our offense. It's hard to get, really hard to keep, and we were able to do that. So that was important to us. And then Joshua Hughes, who Connor Turnbull led the conference in blocks, and Josh Hughes was either number 3 or 4 in blocks, but really helped our team. Like, we were second in defensive efficiency. And a lot had to do with those 2 guys because just protecting the paint and the rim protection and, just defending the rebounding. And they're very versatile defensively. And Joshua Hughes, we can put him on almost anybody, and he's able to slide his feet and can contain and contest and, limit guys with the one shot. So getting those guys back is important. Since we've been here, we took over a program that was in need of some help. And we've been able to go and, year 2, have more wins than we've had total in about a decade. And then last year, have more wins in conference play than we have in nearly a decade. So the progression, you can see it. Retaining some of the guys that we did was really, really important. And then we've added some pieces that I think really complement our guys and will allow us to hopefully make another jump this year.
Yeah, your defense was there. We know that. 3-point shooting, not quite there last year. That's something that I know you want to have step up a little bit. But I want to talk about your point guard. You bring in a kid, I think Leif Moeller. Is that how you pronounce his name correctly?
It's Leif. It's Leif. Yeah, Leif Moeller.
All right.
It took me a while too.
Dudes, it's hard. There's so many of them now.
No doubt.
I got trouble, pronouncing all these dudes. But he is a 6'7" lead guard from Germany.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, he's every bit of 6'7". Because of the joke now that all the kids do 6'7". He doesn't like saying 6'7", so he says 6'6".
What is this joke, Dave? Can you explain it? I'm too old. You're 44. Can you explain to me the 6'7" joke and what the heck it means?
I'm struggling with it too. If it wasn't for 2 teenage kids, I wouldn't even know, what they're talking about. So no, but he is a very mature, very smart lead guard. He has a ton of experience. He's played against pros. He's played with pros. He has really, really good habits. He comes in every single day, just works on his game. But he just has all the intangibles that you want. A guy that eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball and finding ways to make his teammates better. But he is every bit of 6'7", and he's going to do a lot to help us this year, and we're really looking forward to having him.
I think the really interesting thing about the team that you put together is you only have no one between or under 6'3", right? And everyone is kind of between 6'5", maybe 6'10". And you're going to have the opportunity to play lineups where I'm sure there's going to be times where everybody is 6'7" to 6'10" on your roster when you're running it out there. One, was that something that was intentional? Did you go out there saying we're looking for more positional size? And 2, what does that kind of allow you to do on both ends of the floor in terms of how you can play?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I mean, that's what we've locked in on since we've been there as a staff is positional size. We want to make sure that we do have really good size at each position, 1 through 5. And the way the game has moved to basketball is positionless. That's how we coach it. That's how we want to play. We really lock in on versatility. And a lot of times, whenever you talk versatility, coaches, fans, players, whatever, lock in on the offensive versatility. And for us, we discuss and talk about the defensive versatility, be able to switch and cover and move and not having a weak link in your defensive structure. So for us, we feel like if we have good positional size, guys that can defend multiple positions, and also play multiple positions on the offensive end, it just helps you. And that has been our focus since we've been here. Just having time and having moments to really see how the game has evolved, just period in collegiate sports and collegiate basketball, but also within our league, we were able to kind of evaluate what really fits us and who we can go and get, and that being a key focus of just size at position and then depth at position, because that's really hurt us the last couple of years is not having enough depth. So kind of what you said earlier, Jeff, man, what you have to evaluate, what your strengths have been, which size has been our strength, but then what has been your areas that you need to improve upon, and shooting is one of them. Depth is another one, and we feel like we've done a good job of addressing those in the off season.
All right. Well, shooting, Alex Hemingway should help, right? I mean, this is a kid who's been, he's been at the high major level, Clemson, Vandy, has kind of been hurt throughout his career, never really able to kind of, get his feet underneath him here. First of all, his health, and then how much you think he could impact and help your perimeter shooting.
Absolutely. No, he's definitely been through it. It's been some trying times for him to have the injuries that he's had, some fluke injuries on top of that. I mean, busted eardrum was what kept him out last year, and he had a, ruptured eardrum, has surgery, it was some issues with that. And then it just kept him sidelined. How many times do you hear that story? It's very unique. But he's gotten here. He's healthy. He's working. He's consistent. He's a lot like Leif and some of our other older guys that have been through the wars and been through, seasons of just playing basketball, where they know the importance of longevity in the season is making sure you do your pre-practice stuff and post-practice stuff properly. And Alex has done that. I mean, he's a career 40-plus three-point shooter. So even though he's had the last couple of years where he hasn't been on the court as much as he would like to, still the consistency in his performance when he's out there, the numbers don't lie. So he's been able to be out there and be a part of our work throughout the summer and the fall to this point. We know as a group what he's been through, his history, and how important it is to have a structure put together that can help him, like keep him healthy, keep him on the court. So we're really going to stay locked in and focus on that. But man, the guy can really shoot it. He can really play. And the other part, that we looked at factor-wise is he's played at higher levels, and, played in 2 really good athletic leagues, and he's learned how to get his shot off against extreme athletes. So for him to be able to, sort of speak, drop to a level like ours, we have good athletes, and we have really, really good coaches. But it's not quite the same that he's seen, and that's going to be an advantage for him. And even I've watched how he finishes around the rim, and that too has been an adjustment of his game because he's played against high level athletes. So He'll really help in our improvement of our shooting, along with a couple other guys.
Well, let's talk about some of those other guys, because the one that I kind of circled was AJ Casey coming in, right? He
Yeah.
is a player that was a very highly regarded recruit coming out of high school, a couple years at Miami that maybe didn't go as well as he thought. He transferred to St. Louis, and I believe it was a shoulder injury that he was dealing with at St. Louis that kind of hampered him last season. All the talent in the world. He's the kind of guy he's different than what you get in the Valley in terms of the physical tools that he has.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's definitely gifted. You don't end up top 50 in the country just by chance. He's got a lot of tools, a lot of athleticism. He has some guard skills. He can shoot it, can play multiple positions on both sides of the ball. Going to Miami, he's got experience that most guys in college basketball don't have, period. But especially on our team, like he played in the Final Four, like actually played some minutes. And then some things happened where, it just didn't work there. Then he ended up at St. Louis, where we actually recruited him prior to him making the decision, knowing some of the same people, but unfortunately wasn't able to get him here last year. And then he had some injuries, mainly his back, but he had some injuries last year that kept him sidelined. And he's someone similar to Alex. We've been able to get him here. We have a great medical team that's been around our program for a very long time, so long that they worked on myself and Coach Snow, and they have some years on them and some experience. But they put a plan together for our young men, like Alex, like AJ, to not only get them on the court but also keep them on the court. And that's going to be our focus throughout the season, is just maintaining their durability, throughout the season. But his tools, man, he's a great person. First off, he's a great teammate, really knows how to play. And I mean, he shoots the three ball. He's athletic around the rim, and he's very physical. So he'll be able to help with our front court depth. There was times when, Josh Hughes and Connor were doing it, and it's like, okay, where do we go next? And we'll be able to answer that this year with the likes of AJ, and then one person that I think will help us just from a defensive perspective and experience and consistency is Keyshawn Porter. We had transfer from North Carolina Central. He's a grad kid. We have the reigning defensive player of the year, but he tells Connor about every other day that he's coming for his title. And I love that about him, man. He's gritty. He's competitive. He's been through the wars. Defense is a priority for him. And then, one thing I love about our group in general is winning's a priority for him, because you have guys that have been through some of the things that they've been through. Alex and AJ in particular, who injuries that kept them sidelined, they understand what's more important than anything, getting on the court and winning. So I'm really excited about the group. Again, AJ is going to be really good for us. Keyshawn is going to be really good with his experience. And then you look at, Jeff, kind of back to what you were saying, another perimeter guy that has shown throughout his career he can really shoot the three ball. So even though defense is like his number one attribute that he does really, really well, he can also get downhill, and then he can also knock down perimeter jumpers, which helps, spread the floor, creates more opportunities for him and his teammates.
All right, last question for you, Rags. I'm going off topic here a little bit. Is Dave Ragland a better basketball coach or a better drummer?
It depends on who you ask. If you ask my church family, they would say drummer. It's funny. I taught myself when I was young how to play the drums, and God bless my parents, because I don't know how they put up with that. I broke so many lampshades and so many things around the house just drumming, and they finally broke down, got me a drum set. Then when I got decent enough, they put me in church. Are like, just play the drums, man. Like, please don't sing. You guys hear my voice. You definitely don't want to hear me singing. So they were like, look, man, play the drums. And that's kind of been my deal. But I haven't played in quite some time, and I may or may not have been talked into doing that here recently for one of our events.
Well, there you go. There you have it. Coach, we appreciate you being here, man. It's great to catch up. Best of luck this season. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to be able to do. It's fun to see you building this program and growing it and getting them better. So, hopefully we'll have you on the field of 68 again, man. Get a big win. Go beat Purdue on opening night. We'll have you back on the field of 68. I can promise you that much.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with
Thanks
more
for having
from
me.
the
I
very.
know what you guys do, man. So I appreciate you guys having me on the show today.
Appreciate you, man.